Hey, hi and welcome. Okay, there's my girl. Got the GoPro finally emptied. Now we can pay our dog tax properly. That's your liking, your highness, your royalty, your majesty. Oh, a little more under the chin. Perhaps around the... There's my girl. Okay. Okay, so what's this monstrosity? Why do I have an impact driver or cell phone, ball and peen hammer, and my target here? Well, we'll get to that in another video on my other channel. Impact driver, well, now going on 45 minutes of my half-hour job, so I don't want to be frustrated on day two of my half-hour job, but let me show you what I got going on here. This is my big diabolical plan to save my CRV and stretch it out. I have it today and tomorrow to get this done. So this looks pretty serious, doesn't it, guys? Well, my all-wheel drive, okay, I got the hang bearing bracket off. I gotta take that bracket off. Then I got 4 bolts up there and 4 bolts up there, and I can remove the shafts and change my all-wheel drive into a front-wheel drive. The problem is I'm gonna get maybe one kick at this can. I don't know if you can see it really well. Ow! In ribs, not good. Ow. I'm gonna get one kick at that can. I already tried it really loose. Like the big bracket bolt came off. No, not too bad, but it is pretty rusted there. Not as bad as I thought it was. But I have to remove it anyway to be able to replace the bearing if I wanted to. But I don't think I'm going to, because the cross beam here is okay. But look right here, it's like, yeah, it's. I think the two-wheel drive solution might be the way to go if it works in two-wheel drive. You can see that the rear diff has got 2 mounts that hold that whole transfer case in place. So even if you remove the shaft, you don't have to worry about that like pogoing frontwards and sending the vehicle into a whirl. So yeah, but there's 4 bolts there, and they feel like there's 4 bolts there on that end of the shaft, 4 bolts there on that end of the shaft, and I got 2 safety hangers here. Only really have to move 1 or maybe the 2 bolts, and if I could drop it down just enough to separate the 2 shafts, it might make taking those bolts off easier. But here's where the kicker is. If I strip those bolts, I do not have the tooling to get those out of there, and they're like 11mm bolts, so rusted 11mm bolts. What could possibly go wrong? Oh man, my camera's really dirty. So I hit it with the honey goo, which is kind of like a penetrating oil. So I'm just gonna, yeah, hopefully that's a little clearer. Then I'm not even gonna chance it. I'm just gonna take out probably the best tool known to man is an impact driver, and I am going to try. I got to find an 11mm socket that I don't care about, because it's probably going to split the socket. But just to break that loose before I put the, because it doesn't matter if I strip all 4 or I strip 1. If I strip even just 1, nightmare scenario to get that off. You know what I mean? So I get those 2 shafts off. I can put the coupler link plates back on after I kind of strip them down, and they can just stay spinning free. I don't know if there's a seal behind. I can imagine there probably is, but the rear axle is just going to be a dud axle anyway, so that one I don't care about. But obviously I have to get the shafts off to fix it either way. The idea is not to damage it in case, okay, well maybe it is a viable option to replace that hang bearing or something like that. I don't think it will be, but if I can get away with keeping it in a 2-wheel drive, I don't think it's going to be a mechanical problem if I have a problem with it. It will be because if it's not there, it can't break, right? So that's my philosophy on it. But I think what the problem might run into is the sensors. I might get sensory overload, and the CRV just probably either the front wheel drive just won't run properly, so it'll be like this wheel got traction and that wheel got traction. I'll be going down the road like this, you know what I mean? All darty and everything. But if I can get it to work, I'll get it to work. If not, here's my deal. To renew the plates, 165 or 195 for the year, which in about 2 days on the 9th, I will be going at 11:30 a.m. to renew. Oh, so far only bleeding a little bit, so that's not so bad. Drove the screwdriver into my hand. Well, yeah, that feels good. Now, I could park the vehicle for a year for about 35 bucks, but that's still 35 bucks, right? So if I know that this thing can run on two-wheel drive, I'll just put the plate back on it. Disaster averted, sort of. I still have to find another vehicle, but it buys me time. You know what I mean? You know, like here's some vehicles here up in Shovel. Here's a nice truck. How much? $5,000. Yeah. You know, like how much a month? You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. It's the how much. If I could get a vehicle for $100 a month, I would do it. You know what I mean? Like I just you know, 200 I can't do because I can't guarantee my payments, right? I was talking to a friend. I'll just wrap up the video so don't go on too far, too long. Guy going hunting with my dad. He bought a brand new Chevy Silverado, $700 a month for 7 years. Now, mind you, he's making good money, but that's a ridiculous amount of money per month to be like back in the 1980s, 1990s. Someone say, "Oh yeah, I'm paying $600 or $400 or $700 a month for my vehicle." You wouldn't shake a stick at it. You'd be like, "Oh, okay, well I guess he's doing well." But now it's just like, okay, you mean you got to pay more than $100 a month for something? You know what I mean? Like that's where most people. That's where I'm at. I got no income security whatsoever. So I'm not wealthy enough to pay other people to take care of my problems. I got to take care of my own problems. The problem is when you're in that mode, that means everything that becomes a problem for you is broken, breaking down, or about to break out, or requires an impact driver. So rather than turning my half-hour removing the shaft, I thought, well, I looked at everything. I could do all this and probably, if everything goes according to plan, I could probably have those shafts out of there, which is probably right by now. 9 bolts, 10 bolts, 10 bolts. That's 12 bolts. All I would have 14 if I would have take off the back bracket. I only need one bracket off to pull the shafts out of the 2 hangers there. But yeah, 14 bolts. How long does it take to remove 14 bolts? Not long, right? When the bolts aren't rusted in. So I got penetrating oil on it. Gonna let it sit for maybe about an hour. That honeydew stuff works miracles. Whack it with the impact driver. So just to break that seal, and then once you do that, then I can put the torque bar on it. Because if I strip it, the nightmare that's going to be. But I don't even know if this is going to work yet. I've heard of mixed emotions. This is a 21-year-old vehicle, so chances are it's not sophisticated enough to worry about the sensors. Newer vehicles, I think if you disconnected the shafts, the vehicle just doesn't drive because it overloads the sensors. Now, the next thing is find the sensor. Get rid of the sensor. That's the problem. Electronics are 90% of your vehicle problems. But anyway, I'll leave it at about that. So just keep the video short. I'll fill you in if I get it off. If not, well, then I guess the vehicle, there's no point in parking it at that point. Okay, it's a parts car. Well, I'll probably still put the parking plate on it, and if somebody else wants to deal with the problem. But, I mean, I'll run the wheels off of that thing if I have to, if I can get away with it. So this is, it's the cheap fix, like, because like for once you're removing parts to fix things. Yeah, there we go. All right, anyway, I'll keep you guys updated. There we go.